Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today in another episode of VidGamiac vs. Import, back in Blue Protocol, tackling the Time Attack achievement. To get the mode to become available to you, you are going to need to get your Adventurer rank up to rank 10. In order to do that, you are basically going to need to keep up with the main story up to this point in Chapter 4. So make sure you get a few missions deep into Chapter 4, which is going to lead to this fight right here with this boss. Once you defeat the boss and clear the boss fight, you are going to then continue to follow your quest marker, and that's going to lead to you turning in the quest. This is going to be the thing that is going to advance your board up to rank 10, assuming you have kept up with the rest of the adventurer board up to this point. So we're then going to open up our adventurer board menu by going over to quest and then heading to the second tab. Make sure you look for the one that has the 10 next to it and make sure you are able to cash this in. Adventurer Board 10 is going to have a rank up exam tied to it, so make sure you go back to the main city and make sure you take the exam. So fast travel back to the main city and then make sure you go to the main building. You're going to go to the woman who's going to be on the far left. Make sure you talk to her and then she should allow you to take the rank up exam for Adventurer rank 10. This one is going to be pretty challenging. I am going to recommend that you are well above level 50 before you start tackling this one. The exam itself is going to basically be a speedrunning challenge. You're going to move forward and then pick up this thing. You're going to then need to bring it outside and then turn to the right. Then you're going to continue down this path and you're going to have to navigate through this maze of moving pink geysers. So while you are carrying this thing, you're going to have your stamina drain. The quicker you move, the faster your stamina is going to drain. So if you are sprinting, you are going to chew through your stamina way faster. The way the pink geysers are going to work also is if you happen to touch one, it is going to immediately force you to drop whatever you are holding. It's also going to immediately drain all of your stamina and then put a status condition on you that is going to keep your stamina at 0 until it goes away. At the end of this maze is going to be a boss fight. So basically what's going to happen is you want to make sure you try to get through this maze without making a single mistake. The reason for that is even making a single mistake is going to take a ton of time to recover from it. So the more time that we have on the clock to work with the boss, the better, as the boss fight is going to be pretty tough, even if you are way over leveled. So make sure you try to practice what you can, which is going to be to get through this maze as quick as possible. Make sure you take advantage of the blind spots and make sure you try to keep an eye out for those moments where you can try to run through as many of the geyser paths as possible, and you should be able to get the path down a-okay. Make sure you slot the item, which is going to open up this gate right here. Take the teleporter to the boss fight and then use whatever time you have remaining to try to defeat it before time expires. So with a ton of practice and a little bit of luck, you should be able to clear this exam, and that's going to finalize you getting up to Adventurer rank 10. So get your rank ups, and then once you are Adventurer rank 10, you should be able to tackle the mode that we need for this achievement. So Time Attack is going to be a limited time available mode that is going to rotate with Score Attack. The rotation is going to occur usually once every month. So whenever Time Attack is going to be in the rotation, you're going to have up until it gets rotated out for Score Attack in order to get your 10 clears in. If you miss the window, you're going to have to wait until the next rotation where it comes back. If it does happen to be in the rotation, make sure you check your mission menu and then go to the bottommost option. It is going to be the missions that are labeled TA for Time Attack. Make sure you queue into them. You can only solo queue into them, so make sure you do keep that in mind. But make sure you get into the mode. So the way the mode is going to play is you're going to be thrown into a dungeon and you're going to have a timer that's going to count up instead of count down. Essentially, you are just trying to beat whatever your best time is, so you aren't going to have a time limit. You're just going to have a timer in the background. That's not going to really matter for our sake. The achievement is just asking us to beat a Time Attack mission a total of 10 times, so we don't need to worry about posting any best times or anything. So we're just going to try to get through the dungeons the best we can. They can be a little challenging, especially if you are under leveled, so try your best to get through them. Since we're not worrying about posting up any best times or anything, feel free to take your time if you are struggling. However, if you are trying to blam through these as quick as possible, do keep in mind it's just going to be like the main story dungeons. Whenever you get into a battle area, you just need to defeat the enemies that the battle area is going to be asking you of, and that's going to unlock the ability to move forward in the dungeon. So make sure you keep that in mind if you're trying to get through these super duper quick. But of course, if you are leveled up properly, you should be able to get through these easy peasy, even if you do stop to defeat every single enemy along the way. So pretty straightforward. These dungeons aren't going to be particularly long, so just make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure you are taking advantage of the health stations along the way to keep yourself up, but the dungeon is going to culminate in a boss fight, so make sure you are prepared for that. And then once you take care of the boss, that's going to be what the dungeon clear is going to consist of. So once you wrap things up, you're going to get your clear, and then you're going to get your results screen. You're going to get some prizes based on whatever time you posted up, if you care about that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, that's going to be one towards the achievement. We're going to need to do 10 of these in order to get the achievement to unlock. Thankfully, you are able to do the same one over and over. So once you get through one of them, just make sure you open up your menu again, and then make sure you load into the same one, and just repeat that until you get your 10 in, and that's going to be what gets you the achievement. Thankfully, each one of these runs isn't going to be super duper long. The dungeon is going to be pretty compact in size, so you should be able to blam out 10 relatively quickly. Not too bad of a grind. And then once you get your 10th finish in, you should be good for the achievement. There it is, 15 gamer score for this one. And that's all there is to it.